couple of days ago, I saw a video posted by Bolanle. She's an actress, and she was talking about how before she always thought about gender based violence as something that often happens in domestic settings and usually from a sexual partner or someone one is in a relationship or familial relationship with. And it was until she experienced violence, gender based violence, from her driver that she began to rethink what gender based violence really is. And this was a very important one for me too. And this is something that resonated deeply with me because of an experience I had when I was in Lagos, Nigeria. And also something that happened just this past week on Facebook, something that happened to me. So on this fateful day, I was just returning from the market and I was waiting for a keke napep, a tricycle. So I wanted to board so that I could get home and then take a bike to my home. And I was waiting, it was for a really long time, probably because of the time of the day. So it was quite difficult to get one. And eventually, when I got one, I just rushed in. So it was just me and another man who were at the bus stop, and we got in, and the keke napep was taking me home. So just within few minutes, I saw that the seat that I was on was covered in bags for rice, right? So it was very uncomfortable, right? Normally the seat on in the keke napep, they are supposed to be made from leather or synthetic leather or whatever, but in this case they were made from like rice bags, right? And it was very uncomfortable on my skin and also on the clothes I was wearing. It was hot, so I was so uncomfortable and I was paying a lot of money. So in my mind I was like, okay, I think I can suggest to this man that please, he should find an alternative because it's a bit uncomfortable. So I said, oga so I said, oga driver, please, your keke napep, like it would be nice if you can change the seat because it's a bit uncomfortable. And he probably used it to cover the foam seat itself, because I could see also the foam seat was, you know, it was maybe rotting or something. I don't even know, but something was happening to the foam seat, and so it was a very uncomfortable feeling. So I just said that and just continued. The next thing, the man, I just heard, what did you say? I said, sir, that you should try to change this seat, that the seat is like the rice, this thing is shifting. And he didn't even let me finish. He just parked suddenly. Then he turned to me. Now remember, the passenger, a male passenger, was sitting on the same seat. That the back seat often takes three people. So he was sitting at the far end, I was sitting at the other end. And so the keke napep driver just stopped suddenly and he was like, what did you mean? What do you mean by that? How dare you? How dare you, a woman, tell me what to do with my keke napep? Now you buy am for me. So basically he was saying that in pidgin. I was like, so honestly I was confused. I was in a daze, like, okay, what is happening? The next thing I know, the passenger too was like, don't mind them. That, all these young girls, whenever married, they don't know the meaning of what being a man is. I'm like, honestly, I was just so confused. Because in my mind, I was like, what exactly did I say wrong? And also, what is happening? I just could not understand what was happening. Ladies and gentlemen, before I could say anything, this keke napep man got down from his keke napep, came to the back seat and dragged me out. He was pulling me out, and then the passenger that was sitting beside me was pushing me out. Everything happened. It happened in a flash. It was so shocking. I was just screaming, ah, help me, help me. He dragged me out. That one was pushing me out, and they threw me on the floor with the things that I bought from the market. Everything was on the floor. I was in shock. Like, I was bruised from the way they threw me on the floor, and as they were dragging me, I was bruised all over my body. And I was sitting on the floor. I was like, what just happened? I didn't even know whether to cry or to. I was just so embarrassed. That's what I remember feeling. I was deeply embarrassed. And the thing is, immediately they did that, they drove off. And I sat there probably for like maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes. Then I stood up and tried to compose myself to find a um another keke napep to take me home. Eventually I took one home. I got home and I was just discombobulated, to be honest. Now that was something that happened years ago, right? Now, recently, I spoke about a senior colleague who was being bullied by some nefarious elements online. And I said, say no to bullying. The sky isn't wide enough for everyone to fly. Because this man is doing a lot of work for Yoruba language and culture and all of that. I was not the only one who criticized them. Many other people did. But I was the only woman from the people that I could see that posted against those guys. I think I was the only woman. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what happened? These guys, one of them took a screenshot of the video that I made, trying to mock me and saying all sort of things. The second one too said so much. But one thing unified both of them. Both of them reduced my intellectual engagement to me being of marriageable material. They were basically threatening me with marriage proposals, and they just tried to minimize the impact and importance of the thing that I had said. Just like what happened then when I was in Lagos. And also, there are so many stories. If you ask any Nigerian woman, she will have numerous stories of being harassed. But in this case, it was verbal violence, it was digital violence that was being done to me, and it was because I was a woman. It was very targeted. The violence being done was misogynistic as well, and these men did that. And honestly, I was just reminded of how deeply misogynistic the Nigerian society can be, and how, as a woman in Nigeria and also from Nigeria, it's almost like as if no matter what you do, no matter what you have achieved, everything will be reduced to, oh, you're just a woman, or I didn't hear what your critique, you know, I was not even listening to it because I was admiring your beauty and I would like to marry you. And this is what these men did. It wasn't just those two. There was another person. He was more in the comment section writing different things. And I just looked at, wow. Initially, I was irritated, but later on, I was like, wow, it's one thing to study some of these things, it's another thing to experience it. And that is what I experienced. That these men use their platform to attack me, but their attack was veiled as admiration and interest and romantic interest. They didn't show any romantic interest to all of the men who were criticizing them for their bullying. They didn't. But I was the one that they could do that to. And simple, because I'm a woman. And there was a man, who also articulated what was happening. When I saw these attacks from these guys, I was like, what exactly is this? I was there were so many things that came to mind, but misogyny was at the forefront. And then there was this guy who really articulated it so well. His name is Yusuf. I don't know this. It was my first time seeing that guy commenting on my post and also writing a post addressing that issue. And I appreciate him for doing that, because it really shows that at least while there are, many men, even in my professional and personal life, that would ignore, or they will say, oh, they didn't know, and this and that. Even some that say, oh, they are feminists and things like that, they conveniently ignore these issues that happen. It was really good to see a man like that talk about this in such a very clear manner, and I really appreciate that guy's comment. And I hope this is also a learning moment for us all as a people, that as a woman and also as a man, do not have the bystander effect when you notice that someone is being bullied, or that someone is a victim of digital violence, especially when this person is a woman and she's at the receiving end of misogynistic rhetoric. It's very important to address these issues and not allow them to continue to thrive, because if we do that, we are creating and we are perpetuating futures that will continue to be anti-women and misogynistic, and we do not want that to continue. So thank you all so much for watching my video, and I will have more and more things to share as we go on. Bye.